Hello again! English rock band Pulp are back after a staggering 24-year gap. What were they doing during all that time? What inspired them to reform? And is this new album More any good? Well, buckle up, because today we're going to discuss musing on the beginnings of britpop, embracing the complexities of midlife, and moving forward after facing a great loss. Today, we're talking about Pulp's new album, More. Pulp hold a vital place in British music history as one of the defining voices of the Britpop era, distinguished not just by their chart success, but by their sharp social commentary, theatrical flair, and the singular charisma of frontman Jarvis Cocker. While contemporaries often leaned into swagger and nostalgia, Pulp captured the gritty realities of class, desire, and awkward adolescence with rare wit and empathy. After a 24-year break since We Love Life in 2001, Sheffield legends Pulp have finally released their 8th studio album, More, on June the 6th, 2025 via Rough Trade Records. Produced by Simian Mobile Disco's James Ford, who's worked with Blur and Depeche Mode, this album marks a new, surprising chapter, even for the band themselves. The story begins with the 2022-23 reunion, a packed 2023 tour, followed by the tragic loss of longtime bassist Steve Mackey. His death on March 2nd, 2023, dealt a profound blow to Pulp. In the wake of his passing, fellow musicians and fans poured out their tributes. Arcade Fire called Steve one of the most beautiful people we've ever met, while his production work earned him widespread admiration. MIA described him as a great mentor who helped shape tracks like Galang. Even Reddit's indie heads community mourned the loss of Pulp's key pillar. This outpouring reflected how Steve's influence extended far beyond bass lines. He shaped sounds, careers, and minds. Moving forward, Pulp had to adjust creatively and emotionally. Steve had already opted out of the 2023 reunion tour in order to focus on his other artistic passions, and after his death, Pulp welcomed Andrew McKinney as touring bassist. In recent interviews, Jarvis Cocker admitted that recording their comeback album More without Steve was weird, yet underscored that 2 songs were written while he was still involved, offering a bridge between past and present. The album ultimately became both a tribute and a testament to resilience, proof that while they've lost a beloved bandmate, Pulp's creative journey continues, inspired still by the spirit and legacy Steve Mackey left. Recorded over just 3 weeks in late 2024 at Orb Studio in London, More is their fastest made album to date. This raw, focused approach birthed 12 tracks, 11 on the album, and Open Strings, a bonus track featured on the Spike Island 7-inch and Japanese CD release. And 2 of the tracks are co-writes credited to the late Mackey, adding emotional weight to the collection. In a recent New Yorker interview, Cocker reflected on loss, creativity, and finding peace in his countryside escape. Inspired by real experiences, his mother's passing, family life, he infuses More with deeper emotional clarity. The album kicks off with lead single Spike Island, released ahead of the record on the 10th of April. The band were previewing this one during their fall 2024 shows, and it provides the perfect setup to More. Expect quintessential Pulp, wry observations, melodic spark, and that unmistakable Jarvis flair. This track is an energetic nod to the legendary 1990 Stone Roses gig that took place at Spike Island. Its punchy synth-pop arrangement, anchored by crisp drums and shimmering keys, feels festival-ready. By the time the chorus hits, the beat morphs into this baggy throwback to Manchester's heyday and the inception of Britpop. Lyrically, Jarvis juxtaposes the youthful euphoria of success with the grown-up nostalgic clarity of hindsight. Not a shaman or a showman, ashamed that I was selling the rights. I took a breather and decided not to ruin my life. I was conforming to a cosmic design. I was playing to type until I walked back to the garden of earthly delights. The video's playful nod to AI imagery complements this track's mix of vintage warmth and modern reflection. Tina reintroduces that classic Pulp storytelling. It's a complex character study wrapped in melodic 70s-infused pop. Strings arranged by Rick Jones and Emma Smith from the Elysian Collective, and lush chord progressions bring a dramatic flair. Lyrically, we get passion-infused imagery that reminds a touch of Pencil Skirt, which was Different Classes track 2. Here we meet Tina, a figure caught between longing and disillusionment. This song is mature, melancholic, yet unmistakably vivid. Next, Midlife Reckoning takes center stage. Grown Ups balances wistful lyrics about the loss of youthful freedom with a bouncy, quintessential Britpop groove. Cocker sings, "So you move from Camden out to Hackney, and you stress about wrinkles instead of acne. Forget about Tina, get in a bad mood, and buy a computer, and soon it'll be time for some more food." Mark Webber's guitar jangle keeps tempo to a shimmering string backdrop, capturing the tension of adulthood with a clever, ironic twist. Dipping into late night territory, Slow Jam is a mood piece, a bass and strings-driven ballad that finds Jarvis imagining conversations with Jesus. It's intimate and quirky, using shifting arrangement dynamics and pointed lyrics to create a hushed, reflective space. This one shines in its raw vulnerability. Now you know just what I went through. With a more reflective, communal feel, Farmer's Market blends chamber pop textures into the album. A wistful Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds-esque piano and a toe-tapping rhythm form the foundation as Jarvis paints a slice-of-life commentary on the true value of living. I stammered some pleasantries as I walked back to the car, and then I thought, hold on, are these groceries really that important? More important than getting your number and finding out who you actually are? Pulp's wit is fully intact here, but with a softer edge.
Searching for clues with this faded glow stick, but I found nothing.
My Sex is a track first debuted in Toronto last fall that gets personal and provocative. Its prominent steady beat and atmospheric Hammond organ mirror themes of sexual identity and longing. The production enhances the emotional tension, while Jarvis's lyrics remain clever, witty, honest, and engaging with complex intimacy.
Sex is hard to explain. You can't melt it down in the rain. No, you can't melt it.
The second single, Got to Have Love, is next. Probably the album's biggest emotional centerpiece, this upbeat track is steeped in disco pop sophistication. Moody, sweeping strings, elegant piano chords, and a poignant chorus refrain evoke both yearning and hope. Here Cocker gives us the confessional, and you sit on your backside for 25 years, and you hedge your bets and twist and bust and try and fail and work on an album and build a jail and lock yourself away from the one thing, the only thing that could save you, the one thing that scares you to death, the only thing that can bring you back to life. As the tension continues to rise, Cocker asks, I mean, do you even know how to spell it? Well, I'll spell it for you. It goes L-O-V-E. You spell it L-O-V-E, providing another clever callback to a similar moment off Different Class classic, Feeling Called Love. This one is sure to go down great live as a powerful late career anthem for Pulp. Background noise is a commentary on cyclical patterns of life and love's role as a constant. The title's emotional layers contrast Jarvis taking a step back in reflection, setting up a moment of calm in the broader sonic narrative. Partial Eclipse continues the chamber pop textures from Farmer's Market, in an introspective, atmospheric, and slightly moody follow-up. The crisp production highlights ambient guitar tones and yearning strings, while Jarvis contemplates existential ambiguity. During its outro, there's a gorgeous, half-heard whisper of Cocker proclaiming, "Above the clouds," like a partial eclipse, half seen, half hidden, beautifully and quietly unsettling. The Hymn of the North, co-written and featuring Canadian musician and producer Chili Gonzalez, is another dramatic centerpiece that kicked off the band's writing floodgate. This one leans into regional pride and orchestral grandeur, strings, bold piano lines, and Jarvis declaiming post-industrial identity. And encouragement to others coming up in the smaller, forgotten places. Cocker asserts, "I'll be watching from the shoreline. I'll be singing you this song. There's a million things in store for you just beyond the horizon." It's stirring and cinematic, part rallying cry, part elegy for the North. Closing the album on a poetic note, A Sunset offers a reflective denouement. Gentle guitar, soft strings, and contemplative lyrics evoke endings and quiet new beginnings. Almost as a dare, Cocker channels "I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing," the 1971 song by the Hillside Singers, most famous for originating from a Coca-Cola jingle. During the height of britpop, Manchester rock band Oasis was sued after their recording Shaker Maker borrowed its melody and some lyrics directly and were forced to change their composition as a result. The liner notes to More credit songwriter and guitarist Richard Hawley as well as The Earth for songwriting inspiration and directs a percentage of the income to charity organizations working to protect the planet. However, it's curious that Roger Cook and Roger Greenway or just any mention to "I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing" isn't included in the credits. A Sunset is a smooth and subtle send-off, an emotional bookend that leaves space for what might come next.
Every day, yes, it's a sunset. Someone said.
So far, More is being met with largely enthusiastic reviews. Multiple outlets have praised its blend of wit and maturity, though some, I think the Financial Times, criticized key moments like Slow Jam and A Sunset for lacking some of their classic edge. However, long-term fans are sure to cherish this record. Pulp have succeeded to do what some but few others have before them. Come back after such a long hiatus and release a record that sounds like a fresh and vital continuation. Not a retread, but a record that sounds exactly like what Pulp should in 2025. On This Is Hardcore and We Love Life, Pulp pushed hard to distance themselves from Britpop. On More, they reconnect with that past, but do so with honesty and purpose. My current highlights would be Grown Ups, Got to Have Love, Partial Eclipse, and A Sunset, but I expect this may change with more listens. In a press release to promote the record, the band said, "We hope you enjoy the music. It was written and performed by 4 human beings from the north of England, aided and abetted by 5 other human beings from various locations in the British Isles. No AI was involved during the process." Across all tracks, producer James Ford keeps things concise. The recordings are full of raw energy and life, blending classic Pulp elements along with electronic touches and orchestral elements. The inclusion of collaborators like Richard Hawley and the Eno family on backing vocals adds fresh color without overshadowing the core quartet of Pulp. The album's release coincides with the 30th anniversary of Common People, hinting at strategic timing. With UK and North American tour dates lined up, Pulp continued to embrace spontaneity. No long-term roadmap, just intelligent, heartfelt music delivered more for dedicated fans. More is currently in the running for my album of the year. The music is superb. Jarvis and the rest of the group are in top form. It's like they never stopped. More is like peak Pulp, but older and wiser. For those of us who thought there would never be a new Pulp album again, this is pure happiness. In terms of the vinyl pressings, there's a standard black, a South Yorkshire Sunset, which is only available from shops in Sheffield, South Yorkshire, UK, which looks like a red clear swirl. There's also a limited edition Teresa available at general retailers, which looks like a dark green. And also a numbered white label embossed first edition test pressing, which was available from the band's website that I've seen pop up on Discogs going for some bonkers prices for those who care. I picked up this one, labeled the Blue Sky Thinking vinyl. So you can imagine what's coming. Inner sleeve. Nice blue marbled vinyl. More words. In terms of the sound quality, I gave this a spin, and it benefits from some good mastering and production, and the vinyl is clean and cut well. This is an excellent pressing, dead flat and clean. Pulp's new album, More, isn't just a nostalgic return. It's a bold reassertion of the band's creative relevance in a world that's changed dramatically since their last studio release in 2001. With themes of aging, loss, and emotional reckoning running through its 11 tracks, More doesn't try to recapture the youthful chaos of Different Class. Instead, it embraces the complexity of midlife with wit, elegance, and vulnerability. Jarvis Cocker's lyrics cut deeper than ever, backed by richly textured production from James Ford that feels both classic and forward-thinking. The album channels the energy of their live reunion and the emotional weight of Steve Mackey's passing into something purposeful and vital. But what makes More especially compelling is the sense that this isn't a final word, but a new chapter. The band has openly embraced the idea of spontaneity with no fixed endpoint to their creative resurgence. With a UK and North American tour planned and new material hinted at during interviews, Pulp seemed less like a band closing a circle and more like artists discovering a second wind. More doesn't just prove they still have something to say, it opens the door to what might be their most surprising phase. So, that's gonna do it for today. I'm gonna link below Pulp's witty Spike Island video, rare footage of the titular legendary Spike Island gig, as well as a couple articles on why it mattered. If you enjoyed this video, kindly give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos, including a retrospective on Pulp's Different Class planned for October. Have you heard Pulp's More? What do you think of this new album, and where would you think it stands in Pulp's discography? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. You can see more of my videos right here. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you guys in the next one.